Since its initial release in 2018, the Rodecaster Pro has quickly become arguably one of, if not the best tools for creatives to record their podcasts. Its simple user face and incredible design is actually what persuaded me into getting a Rodecaster Pro of my own. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some of my favourite features and things that the Rodecaster Pro can do that you may not know about. Let's roll the intro. What's going on, guys? Connor Wells here. Thank you very much for joining me for another video. Welcome to 2021. I have no idea if this is my first video of 2021 or not, but here we are, we move. Welcome to another year. So, like I said in the intro, we're going to be talking about the Rodecaster Pro. Now, a little bit of backstory. If you haven't met me, my name's Connor Wells. I'm a videographer, a photographer, photo editor, and podcast producer. So, the Rodecaster Pro has really quickly become one of my favourite tools to use when it comes to producing other people's podcasts. I, of course, once had my own podcast called Young Broke Musicians. You can check it out on Spotify, links in the description, so yeah, go check that out. And we actually used the Rodecaster Pro to record that, and it was so simple, so easy to use. It actually made recording the podcast a joy. There have been many times, previous episodes, when we used to record the podcast, and the audio wasn't as good as it could be. It was a little bit of a pain to actually record, but since getting the Rodecaster Pro, it made everything so much easier, and when I'm doing client work, it is an absolute dream to use. In 2020, podcasting grew by a tremendous amount, and in 2021, I definitely believe it's only going to get bigger. I am a huge fan of podcasts. I listen to so many different podcasts, whether it's comedy, true crime, tech, business, all that sort of stuff. I listen to podcasts when I'm driving to and from the studio, on the way to shoots, on the way back from shoots. I even listen to podcasts when I'm editing photos. They're just so easy to listen to, and I highly recommend, if you're creative, that you should at least give podcasting a try. Even if you just do 2 or 3 episodes, I honestly think you will enjoy it. And I think you'll enjoy the podcasting experience more when you're recording through the Rodecaster Pro. So I'm going to be sharing some of my favourite features that I've stumbled across when I was using the Rodecaster Pro for recording my podcast. So let's get into number 1. Now I'm going to start off with probably like my favourite feature of the whole list in this video, and that is ducking. It may sound a little bit weird to start. Why is Connor talking about ducks? I'll explain. Podcasting is a very chaotic and noisy form of media. When you've got an episode where there's lots of guests on and lots of sounds, it can get a little bit noisy, a little bit muddly. So ducking is a very effective and useful tool to lower the mic volume of everybody else except one channel. Ducking is a type of processor that effectively reduces the volume of one sound signal whenever another sound signal occurs. When activated on the Rodecaster Pro, ducking will temporarily reduce the volume of all the channels whenever the host is speaking on channel 1. Now, it's important to remember this only works on channel 1. So if you've got a main host of your podcast, if you've got a face of the podcast, so if I started a podcast, I'd probably be the face of it, I would be in channel 1, which means if I had like 3 other guests on and they're all arguing over each other and it's getting noisy, and if I speak over them, the other 2-3 channels will be lowered and mine will sort of stay the same, which is a great bit of processing for, the listener as well, because you don't want, 4 people talking all over each other all at the same, level. You want it to be a little bit more organised. So ducking is a really great tool. It means the host of the podcast will always be able to be heard clearly through all the kerfuffle and all of the noise from other guests and sounds. The next feature I really love is quick menu navigation. Now, podcasts, they can be like really chaotic, a really frantic thing. And if you're recording them live, you could be under a lot of pressure. And if something goes wrong, like somebody starts shouting, everybody's talking all over each other, one person's level is too loud, one person's too low, you've got quick menu navigation, which is great on the Rodecaster Pro. The menu layout and interface is really easy to use, and with the latest firmware update, it's gotten even better. Often while setting up your Rodecaster Pro, you'll be diving in and out of menus and tweaking a variety of different settings, which can slow the setup process down. By swiping up the touchscreen from the bottom to the top, you can quickly access the home screen. which in my opinion is great because, you know, you don't want to be clicking through all the buttons just to get back to your home screen. It's so handy just to be able to swipe up or swipe down. It's a really, really great feature. My next favorite feature is the fact that you can actually load and save shows. Now, what do I mean by that? You can actually listen back straight through the Rodecaster Pro. You don't have to plug it into your computer. You don't have to, like, you know, transfer the audio files to a hard drive or anything to listen back to it. You can actually listen back straight through the Rodecaster Pro to the podcast show, the voiceover, the audio file that you've literally just recorded. You can listen back to it. So if you want to make sure every level sort of sounds right, if you want to, you know, show, you know, the client, you know, if you're using that for client work, you can show the client how it sounds. It's a really, really great feature. Really, really great. My last favorite feature is broadcast meters. Now, as a freelance podcast producer, you want to make sure the audio sounds top quality. You know, you don't want the audio too quiet. You do not want the audio peaking. It's a lot easier to, you know, work with audio that's too quiet. Obviously, make sure it's not too quiet, so you have to bring up the gain and you get a nice hiss. Ugh, yuck. It's a lot harder to work with peaked audio, so the broadcast meters is an incredibly useful tool. The default level meters on the Rodecaster Pro home screen have been designed to be very easy to interpret, but for those who want a more detailed information from them, broadcast meter mode can be used. To switch on broadcast meter mode, simply go into Settings, Advanced, Audio, then Operations, and then broadcast meters. You need to click that button, and then you'll see all the green, the yellow, hopefully no red. You'll see that bouncing up and down as you and your guests and any other sounds played are played or are talking, which is a really, really great way to gauge, to make sure everything's sort of at the right level. I really hope you found this video helpful and useful. If you've got a Rodecaster Pro, let me know what your favorite feature is about the Rodecaster Pro in the comments below. And don't forget to share your podcast. I'm always looking out for new podcasts to listen to, and it'll be great to find out some more. Thank you very much for watching this video. My name is Connor Wells. Again, if we're just meeting, I'm a freelance videographer, editor, and photographer and podcast producer. You can check out all of my work and my portfolio at my website, connorwells.com. Be much appreciated if you had a look there and let me know what you thought. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.